Alright guys, we're here to talk about Twilight Zone Season 3, Episode 1. And,
Is it?
is it not?
I wrote Season 2, Episode 30 on here.
I'm fairly certain, should we fact check right now and start over?
I didn't look at it all, no.
I'm fairly certain that this is the first episode of Season 3.
That's entirely possible. I've never looked at the episode counter. I've just been incrementing it on my thing here.
Well, you can change your notes. Yes, this was the first episode of Season 3. Well, this could be awkward.
Yes.
Two people in like...
Yes.
Okay, so this episode's bad.
Okay.
For a number of reasons that are all script-based. The acting was fine.
Yeah.
Did you notice who these actors were?
So I have a whole... So by the way, like, I don't hate this episode, but it's not a good, like, Twilight Zone episode.
It's a horrible first episode of a season. If you're going to start the path of something, this is not the way. And again, it's mostly just because of simple writing mistakes that I think they could have solved by underwriting or overwriting, but they didn't do any of those things.
So, this was like a fine, like, short sci-fi story thing to me, but like, as you know, I've said hundreds of times, like, out of a Twilight Zone episode, there are things that I want, you know, to get out of it, and there was no like thing here.
There was no twist. There was no nothing.
No like, and I even just like twists can be like reductive, but I want there to be this like, oh, see human nature, look out or something. But this was just a very straight like forward story.
It was just a story.
The actors, though. So I had to Google. At one point, she says a word, and it's in the subtitles, and I'm like, is that a fake word? Is that
what word? I don't watch the subtitles.
Well, she says it, out loud. It's the only word.
It may have jumped out at me more if I saw it spelled, is what I mean.
It's the only word that she says the whole time, but it's not in English, right? She says priskranich or something like that. Priskrani.
Okay.
I wrote it down somewhere.
All right, and so that made you Google that?
Prekrasny, or whatever.
Is it Russian?
Yeah, so it's spelled wrong in the subtitles, possibly on purpose. It's very strange, but it's the like Russian word for pretty or whatever. Like even without knowing that, like he says it to her later, right? And it's that thing of like he's talking about her, but she was talking about the thing, and now she's wearing the thing, and it's like the old Disney princess, like it's the which I was like, okay, cool or whatever, but. In having to Google, so like I Googled it exactly the way it is in the subtitles, and all you find is people talking about this episode of the Twilight Zone because that is not how it's spelled in in Russian. But they're like, it kind of sounds like this, which it has like K's in it instead of C's and has different. And you're like, oh, okay. There's an I. There's
well,
an
because
I
an American in 1960 wrote it. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, but I don't think the subtitles come from the. I don't know how subtitles.
It might go
work,
directly
maybe.
from the transcript.
It's crazy, yeah.
But did you notice who she was?
So she's someone famous. They kept saying her name, and she was banging. So I was like, "You're hot, Bewitched or whatever."
That's the girl from Bewitched.
The main girl from Bewitched.
The main girl from Bewitched.
Yeah, no, she was.
Did you notice who he is?
That's Charlie Bronson, right?
Yeah, he's always got rope.
I didn't notice any of that. I just saw that in like the things, and I was like, "Oh, great," or whatever. Yeah, because he looked very old compared to her, which is always how these things work.
Well, he's looked old for his whole life.
Yeah. But I liked her because she seemed tough but also hot. Sometimes they go too hot, where it's like you're not a soldier. You'd be all messed up by now.
No, I liked it. Even when they like cleaned off her face, it was still dirty. I was like, yep, that's the way to be.
Good times.
Yeah, so that alone, I was like, when I saw them, I was like, oh right. So we got two huge actors. I'm like, I don't know if they were actually big at the time, but they're good. So I know they at least put effort into finding the actors. So I'm like, all right, season 3, here we go. Let's do this. And then like it starts, and I'm like, all right. So one weird thing after another keeps happening, and weird things not like Twilight Zone-y, ooh, weird. But I'm like, can you put chicken in a can?
That was the weirdest part of. I was just gonna.
It's just chicken in water. Would it not just fall off the bone and be this weird thing?
I was gonna let you talk about all the actual logistical problems and things.
That was
don't
the first
make sense.
one.
No. But then at the end, I was gonna be like, the weirdest part for me was chicken in a can.
So I don't know if that was like a thing off like, oh, it's the future. We now because like there is chicken in cans, never on a bone as far as I know. I've never seen boned chicken in a can.
I've never eaten chicken in a can.
We sell chicken in a can, like there's a thing, like it's boiled chicken in a can, but I don't think it's ever boiled on a bone.
Yeah, but it's not like the 5 pieces of chicken cut and just shoved into a can, right? It's just like little chicken shards.
My biggest concern though was when he's eating his chicken and he like picks up a newspaper. There's like a stack of newspapers on the side of the road, like you would be selling them. And I'm like, okay, so this is the day like the nuke dropped or whatever killed all the people. I'm like, it must have also twisted the earth into this landscape of no rain because that's why there's. But I'm like, wait a minute, no, it can't be that because he dumps water on her face, so water can't be scarce. He's wasting water, or is it just a bad plot hole? I don't know.
What do you mean no rain? What are we talking about?
Well, there's just stacks of newspapers. They're not in a box. box. They're just sitting on top of a thing outside.
Oh, outside?
Yeah, that's where he gets.
I thought it was inside or whatever.
No, there's like a machine that would dispense newspapers, and on top of it, with like a film canister to hold them down, is a bunch of newspapers. He takes the film canister off and he rolls it down the road for fun, as you would. But there's just these stacks of newspapers. So that made me immediately think, because of like, oh, it's a post-war whatever.
Yeah.
I thought they screwed up the world Mad Maxian style, and there's no rain, and like that's the thing. Because how else would newspaper have survived for years? He's reading an old headline. It's years old.
That's just like thinking about it way too much. I think. That's not,
because I have to do that, because if I just think of it as a normal world, I'd go, well, that doesn't make sense. You can't just leave stacks of newspaper out for how long? Because they're the last people in this world. The newspaper had to have been printed so long ago.
Yeah, I think you're just meant to be like, oh, he keeps finding things that we see in English that tell you.
Won't allow that.
The
That's dumb.
backstory.
And then it's like the next scene, it's nighttime, and it's raining. And I'm like, well,
sure. So
rain is a thing. What?
I don't know. I think on set they said, "Wait, we can't have newspapers out. We should like refilm this down the street where there's some, something covering it." And someone said, "Who's going to care about that in 2018?" No. That's ridiculous. And they just went forward with it or whatever.
Even if it was covered, just like paper left out would turn to nothing. The world did look pretty pristine for what it was, so I assumed it was some sort of a bomb that just vaporized people and left everything else.
I don't think it's meant to be very realistic in that way.
Well, it's not.
Yeah.
But those are the things that annoy me, because I'm like, what would it cost you to have him find that inside the barbershop? Nothing. In fact, it would have been cheaper, because he would have had one less place to go.
What I do is, in my head, I just put that in the barbershop, and then I move on with my life.
I can't do that because I'm a bastard, and things really get to me.
There are certain things that are important about the episode, and then there are certain things that don't really matter, and they're just doing things to like, here you go, and like telling you about something or whatever.
Now, did you like how they really can show you it's the future when she takes a shot at him, and it's like, pew, pew, and like a laser beam shoots out of like that old looking rifle?
And he does a weird like backward somersault and stays in that position for a long time, and I'm like, did she twist him into a pretzel, man? What happened? What does this gun do? And then it was just a weird Pratt thing or whatever he did. It was very weird.
I couldn't tell. I'm like, was that the whiplash of him trying to get out of the way? Like,
I don't know.
She didn't hit him.
The kinetic bolt. Yeah, I don't know if she missed him or if she was just like, this is a warning shot. I'm not wearing your fucking dress.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure what that was. Did like she looked at the war propaganda posters and remembered who she was, or did she think this was a plot that he was doing? They're like, he'll just make me his wife or whatever.
Well, no, yeah, it's a metaphor of like she goes in there and all those posters remind her of like that this is her enemy and she shouldn't be doing this or whatever it's going on or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been since they've seen people.
That's something I would have liked them to touch base on more, because like they say like the last people, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they the last people on Earth? Are they the last people in this town? How long have they been going? They look pretty good for being. I love his coat. I would like that coat. That's pretty awesome. It's like Rocketeer-esque.
It's like that. It's like the future past time period. It's like this is what we imagine the uniforms of the future will be like.
I like that.
No, yeah, I don't know, because like we get dialogue from him. It's all basically him. It's all him, literally, saying like, "There's no reason for us to fight anymore," or whatever. And I'm like, "What are we basing this on? Weren't there people on islands in like the Philippines for like decades being like, I'm waiting for the war to keep going or whatever? Like, why would you be like, it seems like it's over. We'll just hang out." Like, yeah.
Well, I guess you reach a certain point.
That's what I would do mid-war. I'm not saying it's not right to do that. I'm saying that like.
Well, I think it also is a big difference is if he came across a dude,
right?
Like he'd be like, I gotta kill this.
Turns
guy.
out the war is still on.
Yeah.
Turns out I don't want you to get half my can of chicken.
When you come across like one of the most beautiful girls of 1960, you're like, you know what? The war might be over. Just saying. I think we might be okay. I think I could put a little suit on. You wear a dress.
Gonna go ahead and declare a ceasefire.
Yeah.
She's like, but it's nothing nicht. And you're like, that's great, honey.
That's right.
She's wonderful. She's hilarious.
I love the knife and the belt. Like,
yeah.
Oh, that was pretty cool. I think it's very funny that he chose to shave.
Yes.
And that could be the whole like, I just saw a pretty girl. I got to get these creature comforts. Or it could be like, hey, there's an old blade. It might be tetanus filled. Let me just rub it across my face.
Yeah, it seemed like they might have stumbled upon this city after wandering for a while or something weird like that.
Maybe, but it's never really said.
No, they don't
touch on that enough because.
That was
a little strange.
That was my production mistake. So they go in there and they like clean themselves up, and then they emerge onto the street and are instantly dry, and everything's fine. Or whatever. Yeah. But again, I was like, hey, that's fine. I figured you would talk about that actually. That's why I noted
there were bigger things to worry about for me.
And the dramatic, oh yeah, that was probably one of my, because I like ugly things or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like when he just casually turns to leave and she like scrambles and like freaks out and they play this dramatic music, but he's just casually walking out, being like, and whatever, you know, past her and all that stuff. I was like, oh, this is really interesting. This is like above
Well, because things
average.
would probably
whatever.
be like that. Like that.
Yeah.
That struck me as I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like when you go to like a dog or something. You go to touch it and it runs like hell. It doesn't know what's happening.
Exactly, and they don't speak the same language, and there's a bunch of crap going on. That's, I think, what's missing from like shows like The Walking Dead. Like you have a post-apocalypse, many shows. There's like 100 shows now, right? It seems like everyone's like, oh, I don't trust you. Okay, we're fine again, and it's like a sitcom. Everything's normal or whatever. And it's like everyone would have PTSD. Everyone would be very like, oh god, oh, like loud noises. You'd be freaking out. It'd be this whole thing. You couldn't sleep like through the night. You'd be like, ugh, all that time, right?
I think like I wanted an ending more like the rest of the American forces or whatever his army comes, and he's like, oh, this is my wife, she can't speak, or like something like you know, like
right,
and so quickly the enemy can become your, like, you know, something, and he'd give some monologue, or like it would be nice or something, and it wasn't that, it was like and they ended happily ever after. And I'm like,
he says,
what the hell is that?
A love story in the Twilight Zone, and you're like, oh, what? Right, so I think that like at the time this was meant to just be so mind-blowing, both that some like pseudo-future Russian and like a like pseudo-future American would find love in like the shattered remains of our world, that like that alone was supposed to carry it or whatever. But I need like a thing. I need like a thing where like I don't think she's what she seems. Oh, this happened, or like
she kills him.
Yeah, they like betray each other, and then like there's a fight, or like they think the fight's over, but the fight's not over, or they think that like there's something happens, right?
Yeah, it would have been. I think if I would have been there in the 1960s, a small child, you know, sitting at the front of the TV like this, like, oh, like, I would have been like, oh man, what was that? And like, not only because a love story and I'm a child not wanting that, but b, I'm like, where are the aliens? Where's the cool shit? I want something scary. What is this?
No, exactly. Twilight Zone was supposed to make it like, oh, wow, what? And, like, again, like, the only thing could have been, like, maybe no one had seen a post-apocalypse before or whatever. Yeah. They'd be like, wow, imagine if the world was like that, and, like, there was chicken in cans.
I meant to Google it, but I didn't. Yeah. I wanted, like, boned chicken in cans. Because, like, it was like chicken wings in cans. Like, like, what who does that?
No, he snatched a leg out. He was, like, eating it. I'm like, and at first I'm like, what is this? What is happening? That's really funny. So I'm glad that I'm not just sleeping on canned chicken, whole canned chicken.
Yeah.
That's not a personal problem.
No, very strange. But that's pretty much what happens in this episode of Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments below what you think about it. Did you ever have canned whole chickens? Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.